ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। कुकारस्त्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्त्वन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवद्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। यश्छन्दसा मृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया आस्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत् कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अहं वृक्षस्य रेरिवा कीर्तिः पृष्ठं गिरेरिव ऊर्ध्वपवित्रो वाजिनीव स्वमृतमस्मि द्रविणगुं सवर्चसं सुमेधा अमृतोक्षितः इति त्रिशङ्कोर्वेदानुवचनम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। आप्यायन्तु मम अङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुः श्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्यां मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्। अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मा ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितं आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य मानीस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अहुज्ञानितेन अहोरात्रान् संदधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः भद्रं मनोमय आपय मनः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येम अक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवा स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः यो ब्रह्मानं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तं हदेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये ॐ शान्ति शान्ति chant Om Namah Shivaya. I just brought this Shruti. So I'll repeat Om Namah Shivaya twice. I'll repeat it once and then you can just follow after me. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 You can also, this small chant, after you can just follow after me. It goes Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai 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 Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Jai Ram Krishna. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. 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 Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai 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 Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Jai Ram We'll do the first verse and then the 7th verse. Omityetadakshara idagum sarvam. Omityetadakshara idagum tasya upakhyanam. Tasya upavyakyanam. Tasya upavyakyanam. Bhutam bhavat bhavishyaditi sarvam onkara eva. Bhutam bhavishyati sarvam onkara eva. Yacchanyat-trikālātītam tadapyonkara eva. Yacchanyat-trikālātītam tadapyonkara eva. Na antah pragyam na bahish pragyam. No bhayatah pragyam na pragyanaganam. Na pragyam na pragyam. Adrishtam avyavaharyam. Agrahyam alakshanam. Achintyam avyapadeshyam. Ekatma pratyayasaram. Ekatma pratyayasaram. Prapancha upashamam. Shantam shivam. Advaitam Chaturtham manyante. Sa atma sa vijñeyaha. Sa atma sa vijñeyaha. So it ends with sa atma sa vijñeyaha. So what it means is it is worth, your nature is worth looking into. Vijñeyaha. It is something that you need to see. And so Swami Maheshwaranji says that, for example, when people say when you go to India, you must go visit Taj Mahal. It is worth seeing. If you go to India and you say, did you go to Taj Mahal? He says, no, so I didn't know anything about that. Then there's an issue. Similarly, when you go to New Delhi, so there are some things that you have to see which are important. Qutub Minar, and the next to that is this Ashoka Stambha, which is a remarkable thing because it has been built over several centuries, and there is no rusting of the iron. Just amazing how it was. The people still don't know what alloys they made because of that. Anyway, so the Ashoka Stambha is worth seeing. So similarly, the Atma, Shruti itself says, Saha Vijñeyaha. It is worth seeing. So worth seeing means that it is like your conduct of everyday life. It's like visiting India without seeing some of the important things to see. So similarly here, the Atma needs, someone has to show you, just like even to go to Taj Mahal or something, someone has to give you instructions and here's how you go and so on. But you must do it. It's an important thing. Here, the Atma Savijñeyaha means that it is worth knowing. What do you mean by worth knowing? What is so worth knowing about it? So, my understanding about myself is as a Jivatma. which means that I am a conscious being. Yes, this is easy to see. Not even easy to see, it is known that I am a conscious being. Even a child knows it. I am a conscious being. But the conscious being is seen in a wrong way. Because the conscious being is not understood to be something which is the most important things to be seen in our life, which is that it is independent. It is free of problems. It was never really come into being. It never came into being. It was always been there. And there is no possibility of it disappearing. In fact, it is Paramatma. It is not Jivatma. This is what is worth seeing. And so we go to pilgrimages and we say it is worth going. You must go here. Char Dham is worth going. If you haven't done that, it is you have missed something. So similarly here, the Atma is the ultimate thing that needs to be seen by everybody. And it is missed by everybody. Well, this is the importance of it. So Vijñeyaha. Vijñeyaha means it should be seen. It should be understood. It should be grasped. It has to be owned up, and it is worth our life, because otherwise it is just a journey. You have not reached where you want to, where you should go, what you should see. It's like going around and you don't see the main thing that you need to see. And then the main thing that you need to see is that really the perceived limitations that I surround myself with is just a Brahma. It's not there at all. Just like the room space, that we are so enamored with my understanding that I am a room space, fully occupied by worrying that I don't want to be polluted, I want to make sure that the walls don't cave on me, all kinds of things. And I have a worried mind. Why I cannot relax. If someone says, why are you worried? What's happening? And he says, there's some construction going on and I'm told that I'm going to be disbanded. So the teacher says, so what? So what do you mean by so what? Don't you see what my problem is? I'm going to die. I said, no, you're not. So once that is understood, that the understanding of this, so that for a room space, the fact that it is total space is worth knowing. For a wave of the ocean, it is worth knowing that you are not just the wave. In fact, you are not the wave, you are the whole water, you are the whole ocean. Your identification is just transactional. It has nothing to do with your reality. And so this is what is called Sa Atma Sa Vijñeyaha. So the word Vijñeyaha means worth knowing. It is to be known. Atma va are drashtavyaha mantavyaha shrotavyaha nididhyasitavyaha tavyaha. So the tavyaha pratyaya means it should be done. You should really this is why we have taken our life as a human being. This is not an ordinary thing. Appreciate the chance that we have, because only in this life of a human being, where our equipment is so refined use that equipment to understand the Atma. Saha Atma Savvigneya. So that's how it ends, the whole thing. So then, of course, as we have been studying, the description of the Atma, and the description of the Atma, as we have seen, has to be done through Nishedha Vakya. Through a Nishedha Vakya. And the Nishedha Vakya, na antaf pragya, na bahish pragya. Nishedha Vakya means the one which is in negation, a sentence of negation. Nishedha. So this is exactly like, we should really visualize that if there is a person and has a wrong vision of a snake inside the home, I mean, just imagine, supposing you are aware of the danger of having snakes, and if you think there is a snake inside the room, you're not going to be comfortable. And you're absolutely not. You're going to be, your whole life is disturbed. So in that sense, somebody says, what's going on? Why are you acting this? He says, I just saw a snake in the room. And he said, where? He says, I don't know, it was in that corner. So this person walks up and instantly realizes this is a mistake because it was not properly. Now, just imagine the tone of the person who has to now calm this person down. And this tone is very important. So the tone of the Shruti is exactly like this. So the tone cannot be, you are so stupid, why are you thinking like this? This is not true. I'm telling you, you are just, that's not true. It is a rope. That's not the tone. Not the tone. So what is the tone? The tone is, that's not a snake. Not a snake. So you have to do it calmly and confidently based on the fact that you know what the problem was. It was something that was mistaken, and it's possible it was mistaken. Instead, if this is what you think, it is not a snake. So it's a very calm, confident voice. That's how it is. Na antaf pragyam. He says that you think that you're right now, your estimation of your life is based on what you observe. That's how our life is. We observe and we make conclusions about my experiences, my transactions with it, my responses to the world, the problems that I see. This is how what my world is. All kinds of things, physical problems, and then emotional problems, mental problems, not knowing things, getting to know better through buddhi, manaha, not being able to breathe properly, having diseases, and coughing, and not being able to breathe properly, having problems with bodily functions. This is what my life is. And then even if everything is okay, my health is okay, everything seems to be okay, I'm breathing all right, I create my own problems. That person doesn't like me, I don't do this, and so on and so forth. Why am I associated with this person? Why am I in this situation, and what's going on? We create our own mental problems. So this is what my life is. This is my estimation of the Atma. My Atma is there. I'm aware of all of that. But then I'm surrounding it with all these kinds of things. So here Shruti, just like this person who says, what's your problem here? The problem says that, what do you mean, what's my problem? It's a very dangerous problem here. I've got a snake in the room. So similarly, Shruti says, what's your problem? He says, what problem? What are you talking about? Don't you see what my life is? And on top of that, I am not sure where am I going, how long will I be living, what is the purpose of the whole thing? The whole thing just doesn't make any sense. Shruti smiles, and the tone of the Shruti is not shouting at me, not saying you're so stupid, you're doing this, then so on and so forth. It just says, calm down. There is a mistake. This is not the way things are. Let me explain. This is the tone of the Shruti that we should appreciate. Na antaf pragyam, na bahish pragyam, na ubhayataf pragyam. One by one it says, this is a more complex version of this is not a snake, because once you say this is not a snake, you can maybe you can do a couple of things to to make sure that the confident nature of the of saying is backed up with something. Like, for example, the person can lift it up, because you will never lift up a snake. And he says, hey, this is not a snake. It looks like a snake, I understand that, but it's not. So here the Shruti has to go through some, because to telling a room space to say that you are making a mistake is not easy. Because my whole life is based on an estimation that I have a certain size, I have a certain dependability, I'm depending on things. My whole evaluation of how I think, how I behave, all of that is based on a different set of parameters. And so to extract those parameters one by one and saying, listen, it's not true. See, your identity is at a different time, at a different place, and it's wrong. And here's how I'm ready to convince you of it. Listen to me. This is the tone. This is what Shruti is saying. And in back there, the Shruti is smiling, because it says it might take you a little while. Might take you a little while. Exactly like, I think I've told you that before also, that when a child is sick and has fever, there tends to be some wild dreams because of the fever affecting the brain and so on and so forth. So the swapna, the dreams become weird, and so you can blurt it off, and the mother is sitting there quietly just reading a book or something like this and making sure that the child is comfortable. When the child says, oh, help me, there's a tiger that's after me, so the mother has to say, no child, it's okay, it's okay, there's no tiger. But inside she smiles and says, poor child, she'll be okay, she'll be okay as soon as the fever goes down. And so she just puts her hand over her forehead. And so here also the Shruti is smiling. There's no real problem. This is what is called prasanna gambhiryam. There's a word, there's two words used, prasanna gambhiryam. In fact, this is what when Adi Shankara bhashya, it is characterized by prasanna gambhiryam. Prasanna gambhiryam means serious, and prasanna means pleasant seriousness. Pleasant seriousness. This is important. Sa atma sa vigneyaha. It is important for us to see ourselves, but it's a very pleasant job. It's not a tragic job. It is already pleasant, and it gets more and more pleasant as you understand. You get a glimpse of the Jivatma is actually Paramatma. So the essence of that word Jivatma is Paramatma, the essence of those, that sentence means that the limitations do not belong to you. In fact, what your essence is the same as the essence of the whole Ishvara. There's only one space. That is what I need to see. And so that seeing is tinged with prasanna gambhiryam. And so the Shruti says, get on with it. But it's no, and it also, the other aspect of that is that you have to see it. Shruti cannot make you see it. That's the nature of the Atma, that the nature of the creation of the Lord is that everyone has to just discover that for themselves. And that's why, as you say in the Gita, even though Arjuna was one of the best friends of Krishna, and if Arjuna has some kind of a Brahma, then he has to take care of it. Just by putting a hand on his friend and saying, okay, I grant you now total freedom, it's not happening. It's not going to happen. I have to do it. The Shruti helps me, but ultimately I have to convince myself that I am not seeing the Paramatma in myself. It means I don't see the infinity in myself. Anyway, so that's the tune. So now with that, Nantaf Pragyam, we already did all of that. I wanted to, I didn't explain na pragyam, na apragyam as well as I wanted to. And so I did some more research. I actually also looked at the Shankara Bhashya, the Tika, and so on and so forth. And now I think, so Swami Maheshananji also did not comment on it as well as he could have. So that's why, so the na apragyam is clear. That means that I am not jada. I am not jada. Jada means that I am not inert. Like for example, so the only two things in your body that are jada are your nails and your hair. It's really remarkable how Ishvara has made this, that if your hair are being cut, you don't cry. You don't cry. It's a very interesting thing that the hair actually grows. So it has some chetanatvam. It has some, you know, it's not completely inert. It has life in it. But the life is such that it does not have any pain associated with it. That's why you get your hair cut and you enjoy it. You're watching something while you're doing this and so on and so forth. It is so interesting. I go for a haircut now, and so I just go to the cheapest one available, Supercuts, and so they give me a $2 off for senior citizenship, and I really sympathize with them. So this woman, generally they're women, so this woman cuts my hair, and she's done so quickly that she feels embarrassed about it, to get $18 out of me for 3 minutes, 5 minutes. So what she does is, this is very common, she keeps on puttering. So but then she says, oh, I think I missed something. And I know she wants to spend at least 10 minutes, you know, so that if I give her a tip or something like this. So, but it's a very funny thing. The hair is, these are the advantages of getting bald. Another advantage of getting bald is the other day, about, I don't know what, a few months ago, I go for my, I just go to the gym for working out. Right after the class, I also will go. And then I take a shower there and so on. And one day I found that I forgot my comb. And I'm looking through my bag and I said, oh my gosh, I put it on the other day, I forgot to take it out. So at one time I would be worried, how will I comb my hair? So the other day I just go to the mirror and just put like a couple of with my fingers I made comb out of this and I did like this. Now I'm not worried. No one noticed whether I am. It was absolutely fine. I don't need a comb anymore. I don't need to pack it. But it's really interesting. So the hair and the nails also. Nails, you cut your nails, is jada. So he says the Atma is not jada. And in fact, so that is na apragyam. Na pragyam. This is where I had some doubt as to what is the meaning of that. I did some research. Na pragyam means that you as a conscious being, as a human being, any jiva, you are not the conscious being as you see it. This is meant by na pragyam. So I'm just going to leave it there. But when we come to Shivam, I will expand on this a little bit more. So I just wanted to briefly comment. So Nantaf Pragya means that the waking state is not you. I'm sorry, the Swapnavastha is not you. Then the Bahish Pragya not you. Ubhayataf Pragya not there. Pragyana Ghanam means that not the deep sleep also not there. Then na pragya means you're not the conscious being and you're not the inert aspect of yourself. None of them you are. But then this distinction between pragyam and apragyam I will comment on when we go to Shivam, Advaitam, in just a few more minutes. Anyway, let's go on. So, Adrishtam. Adrishtam means that you are not the subject of your sense organs. So the sense organs and the world are very closely coupled. So Ishvara has created the world for you and also created the sense organs that are used to evaluate the world. It's a one for one. And the sense organs all have limitations. So this is what is called their own purview, their own sphere of action. So for example, eyes are very important for seeing form, but you cannot see vayu, you cannot see wind with the eyes. You have to feel the vayu. And the feeling cannot see the rupam, form. So each one of the sense organs, of the 5 sense organs, have their own sphere of what they are good for, and together they define the world that I see. This is the creation, beautiful creation. So you have to create what is to be seen and how you see it, all coupled together very meticulously. This is what. Now, all throughout my experiences, I use all of my given sense organs, and there may be some missing. It's very possible that if I don't have eyes, that I'm not able to see it, I'm blind, but the other things I have. Or if you cannot do one thing or the other, you have a hearing problem, then you cannot hear. But generally speaking, without some problems, I can use all of my senses to evaluate what I see in front of me. The Atma cannot be seen by any of the five senses. Cannot be seen. And the funny part is, it is there. It is there. See, how do I evaluate the existence of something? How do I evaluate? Through my senses. If I see it, it is there. If I feel it, you can tell someone, can you feel this? The only other thing is ESP, extrasensory perception, which there's no extrasensory perception. It's just an imagination. But I evaluate the existence of things through my sense organs. Yes, I saw that person. Yes, Swamiji used to, the first time we took Swami Dayanandji through Gilroy, he said, "Oh my God, there's garlic in the air." And the sadhus, they don't eat garlic or onions, and so Gilroy became a topic of his talk throughout the world. He says there is a place in California called Gilroy, and you don't need to eat it. You just drive through it, and you can see the presence of garlic. And so that can be smelled. Atma is a very funny thing. The Atma is there, in the sense that if you cannot touch it, if you cannot smell it, if you cannot see it, etc., then it must not be there. Atma violates that rule. It is there and yet cannot be touched, cannot be smelled, cannot be seen. This is a very funny situation. And Atma is to be seen. It will come in Ekatma Pratyayasaram. It will come in a minute. But the funny situation is that what you have to see is that nothing is seen without the Atma. Nothing can be touched without the Atma. There is no garlic smell without the Atma. And yet you cannot see the Atma itself. This is what I have to see. It's a unique situation where it is there, but it cannot be felt, seen, or touched, or etc. So that's what is meant by adrishtam, avyavaharyam. Avyavaharya means it cannot be transacted like a thing. Like, you give me, I gave you a book, and you gave me some money. So you did not have the book, and we got some books and gave it to you, and you are now minus the money that you paid me. This is called vyavaharyam. So Atma is avyavaharyam. How? Because you already have it. I cannot give it to you. And the person who is trying to give also has it. Everybody has Atma already. So the transaction doesn't make any sense, because transaction is only for something that is not there, something which is achieved, not achieved, lost, gained. Atma is never lost, never gained, never possessed, dispossessed, never transacted. No question of transactions. So avyavaharyam. Agrahyam. So agrahyam means that fine, I cannot see it through my sense organs. I cannot objectify it through my sense organs. But conceptually I can. Conceptually. Like, people describe to you some emotion. Like, for example, I thought that it was a big problem, but I found out that I was just wrong about it. I'm so relieved. So the relief is not done through your sense organs, but it is done through your antakarana, through your mind. Through your mind. So something that you can grasp some concepts. Atma cannot be grasped as that kind of a concept. It is graspable in a different way that we will see later, but in the normal way of how we extend our sense organs to understand, it's not possible. So agrahyam. And alakshanam means that for me to have some extension of thinking, there must be some signs of it. The example, of course, is that of smoke. So the smoke is a lakshanam. Whenever you see smoke, you don't see the fire. You may not see the fire. You may or may not see the fire, but you know there is fire. Why? Because the fire is characterized by a lakshanam. Lakshanam means black smoke. Whenever there is a black smoke, dark smoke, if you have a kind of like a white cloud, like it happens, sometimes you go to these, you're going around and you have these factories that lets off steam, and you see this white cloud, you're not worried. You're not worried because that's the steam is not fire. That's heat. It's evaporated water. Everything is okay. And the children has to be shown this. But once you see a dark cloud, is what happens. Sometimes you go on a trip and suddenly you discover there is a huge amount of black. You're worried. You immediately turn to KCBS to see, is there a fire here or what? And so this is called lakshanam. So lakshanam means that it must have something that it leaves behind which is uniquely characteristic of that thing, like smoke is to the fire. Atma doesn't have it. As we will see in a minute, Atma doesn't have it because it is always present. You see, in the case of lakshanam, what it means is that the smoke may be there or may not be there. So that's when you can distinguish to see, yes, there was fire. But even though the akasha, space is always there, and it really has lakshanam. Lakshanam. It has a unique lakshanam. You cannot say that the space does, it's just like Atma also. You cannot say that the space does not have lakshanam. What is the lakshanam? It allows for everything else to be. Just imagine, you cannot even have creation without akasha. And as you know very well, that in deep sleep there is no akasha. There is no akasha. Why? Because the creation is not there. It has all gone into a seed state. There is no akasha. But for any creation, the first thing Ishvara had to do was to create the concept of space. So the space has a lakshanam. Avakashatratvam akasham. the one that allows for people to just be there. But because it is always there, it is missed. It is missed. Just like, for example, we always miss light. During the day you're transacting and so on and so forth, and the fact that light is there, why? Because it is a constant in the whole day, it is missed. It is completely missed. But the light also has a lakshanam, because at night time it is not there. And in fact, sometime during the day when it's very cloudy, you have to turn the lights on because there's not enough light. So the light also has some lakshanam. Atma, at least the space and the light both have some absence. Light absence happens all the time. Space absence happens only in deep sleep. Atma's absence never happens. So therefore, the only way to miss the lakshanam of Atma, Atma has a lakshanam. What is the lakshanam of Atma? Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Ekatma Pratyaya Saram. That is the lakshanam. But it is so present, so common in everything, that I miss it. I miss it. Oh, Atma, of course. Yeah, this is me. And when you say this is me, you do not understand the truth about the Atma, so you make up things. I am just a human being. I am 65 years old. I am this, and so on and so forth. So, a lakshanam. And therefore, achintyam. Achintyam. So here Swami Maheshananji says that he gives a particular color to the word achintyam. So achintyam here, this is an important thing. You can say, maybe I can meditate on it. And this is what happens. In fact, there are whole systems built on the fact that if you just meditate on yourself, you will gain it to the entire meditative system. The Buddhism, the yogic system, the Sankhya system, the whole system, meditation. This is called Chintyam. You feel that I don't want the whole world. I discard it, but I'm just going to meditate on the Atma. And that meditation also doesn't really reach it. Why it doesn't reach it, we saw last time about the Samana Sattakaha and the Vishama Sattaka. We saw that really only the absence of thought. You see, this is the thing, we should understand this, that if you feel that I want to meditate during the day on the Atma, and you do it with a lot of effort, it takes a lot of practice, a lot of discipline, all of that, and you say, this is what I want. People do it all their lives. Vedanta says, don't you see, you are given automatic meditation in deep sleep. Deep sleep is nirvikalpa samadhi. And you don't try for it. All you do is, you are so tired, you just fall asleep. That's it. Nothing. You can't even avoid it. You can avoid it for maybe one night. But the next life, Ishvara automatically says, poor guy. And so the yogi, all the meditators also realize that I am already automatically given it free of cost, without my effort. So the best meditation is Nirvikalpa Samadhi, which is already given to you. But that doesn't reveal the Atma. You're just as confused after the meditation, after the deep sleep as ever. So that is not the issue. It is really the Brahma Akara Vritti that has to come, which we will talk about. So therefore, now we have covered Achintyam. Achintyam. Then Avyapadeshyam. So let's pause on this. This is something interesting. Avyapadeshyam. Avyapadeshyam means, therefore, it cannot be talked in terms of words. You cannot describe it. Cannot describe it. So here, so this is what is this is the meaning of Mauna Vyakhyanam, as we saw in the Dakshinamurti Stotram. The Dhyanam for Dakshinamurti Stotram. Mauna Vyakhyanam means an exposition in silence. So this is an important thing to see. So I'll give you two separate views of it, one from Swami Maheshananji and one from Swami Dayanandji, and my own experience from this. So first Swami Maheshananji. So he is saying that very often people will go to Mahapurusha, Swami, some high person who has really understood it. Not that many people are there, but you can find people. And then you go to their satsang, and then you talk, you listen to them and says, "Oh, we have come to Swami Maheshananji," and so on. So Swamiji gave the example of Punjab. He says, if you go to Punjab, they'll say, so tell us about the Atma, tell us about the Paramatma, and so on and so forth. So Swamiji says, yeah, okay, good. I'll talk about it. So then he keeps a little quiet. And then somebody in Punjabi says, Swamiji, kuch dasso. With those of you that understand, means, please say something. Please say something. So Swamiji opens his eyes and closes it, and he says, actually, I'm saying it. You're not getting it. And he doesn't say that. He won't say that. What he says is that, really speaking, and now I'll close this loop once I go to Swami Dayanandji's example and some of your experiences also. Then I'll come back and summarize the whole thing of Vyapadeshyam. So oftentimes in Swami Dayanandji's satsang, especially after a class or something, the satsang will just be very quiet. There is nothing said. People are just sitting around looking at him. He's looking at people, and nothing is being said. It's just, and for a visitor who's not familiar with this teaching, how the teaching is and so on and so forth, they become very uncomfortable. They'll sort of fidget, and then the interesting thing is they'll evaluate the Swami. Supposing you come in, and this is what happened to me. I remember a couple of times in the early on, when Swami Tattvavidanandaji was staying with me. For several years he would stay with me. And then he shifted over to this local hotel, and now of course he doesn't even come here. So, but when he was staying with me, I thought that on one of the afternoons I will gather up some of my friends and have him, because I was thinking he's a wonderful person, people should get to know him. So my wife and I would arrange for lunch. After once or twice we said, no, this is not working. Why? Because people will come. They're not really students of Vedanta. So they will ask some very funny questions. What were some of the questions? One of them said, Swamiji, what kind of dreams do you have? I'm sitting there and saying, oh my gosh. You know, sort of saying, Swamiji, Atma, what should I do, this, that, or the other. They don't know what to ask. Here's the Swami sitting there quietly. And so they come up with these funny kind of questions. What kind of dreams do you have? And, you know, and so I decided, this is not going to work. It's nice to have some friends that don't know about Vedanta, but in the hope that some of them may get captured. Generally doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So in Swami Dayanandaji's satsangs also, it was very uncomfortable. And in fact, I would say that if someone were to simply evaluate Swami Dayanandaji from his satsang, they'll say, there's nothing special. Nothing special. What? Nothing. He doesn't say anything which is profound. Nothing is said. What is all this all about? So Swami Maheshanandaji also said, what can I talk? What can I say? Because ultimately the teaching is done through an understanding. So let's just at least now. So up to this point, it is negation. Nisheda Vakya. Nantah pragyam na bahish pragyam na ubhayatah pragyam na pragyana ghanam na pragyam na apragyam adrishtam avyavaharyam agrahyam alakshanam achintyam avyapadeshyam. Just like saying, this is not a snake. You don't understand how you got that? It not it is. It is in fact a rope. So the first thing, as we said in the last class also, you should not say immediately this is a rope. And we saw the reason for it. Because if you say, if somebody thinks they've got a dangerous snake in the room, and somebody says this is a rope, they'll say, I'm not talking about the rope, I'm talking about the snake. You see, this is why you have to pin it down and saying, first of all, that what you say is not true. What you feel is not true. It's not a snake. Then the mind says, really? Then what is it? Then you reveal. So, ekatmya pratyaya saram. So he says that what you have to see, you are missing it completely. And what I'm missing is, I am there all the time. Pratyaya saram. In fact, it is the essence of me. And the essence of me is non-changing. And in fact, it is never not present. Even when you are looking at objects, it is due to the Atma pervading that object. Here Swami Maheshanandaji, this is a beautiful advice that he gave. He said, you know, don't say that, it's not necessary to say that, you know, I'm very busy. I have to do things. I have to, you know, take care of my family, and I have to do this, and so on and so forth. I don't have time to study Vedanta because it's only meant for these swamis that have nothing to do. And so I am very busy in my life. Okay. Swamiji says, this is not, did I ever tell you don't do this or anything like that? He said, really speaking, all of your transactions in your life don't need to change. Nothing needs to change. What needs to happen is that when you are transacting, you begin to understand that as you are transacting, the Atma doesn't change. And in fact, no transaction is possible without the Atma. This is all that you need to do. You can continue doing whatever you want to do, and you cannot not continue to do whatever you want to do. Ishvara has given you a form, and you have to complete the promise of that creation. You cannot avoid that. But there's no reason to isolate yourself. You are misusing. This is the whole teaching of karma yoga in Bhagavad Gita. That karma is fine, but the karma should be used as a yoga. This is the karma yoga. Ekatma pratyaya saram means that all you need to do is to add an additional challenge to yourself, that as you are transacting, you say that, my goodness, I am someone that doesn't change. I am the same consciousness that I've always been. So far I have neglected it. I was oblivious of it. No one had pointed this out to me. And so Swami Maheshanji said that, for example, when you say, this is not a snake, what it means is, even while you are taking it as a snake, it is not a snake. It doesn't say it won't be a snake in the future. So that's the purpose of negation. Na antah pragyam, while you are dreaming, na bahish pragyam, while you are doing this, and so on and so forth. Ekatma pratyaya saram. Don't you see that you are in and through? And so this is the beginning of the positive aspect. So the negative aspect of that is that if you just say this is only an ornament but has no gold in it, that is the negativity. Cannot have an ornament without something which gives rise to the ornamentation. And so then if you enjoy as a golden ornament, then it's a different thing altogether. So then this is the beginning of the positive thinking, and we will continue with prapancha upashamam, shantam, then shivam. So sorry we didn't get enough time to do that, but when we come to shivam, then we'll have an interesting discussion about the entire creation of Ishvara in terms of Shiva and Vishnu and Shakti. These are the three things that Swami Maheshananji has pointed out in great detail with respect to this word Shivam. So I'll postpone it. I was thinking that I will do that today, but didn't get time. So we'll do that next time. So it's a normal progression. Ekatma pratyaya saram, which is prapancha upashamam, which is shantam, which is shivam, which is advaitam, which is chaturtham. So all that will continue in the next class. Om swasti prajabhe palayantam nyayena margena mahin mahishaha go brahmanebhya shubhamastu nityam loka samastha sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyaha prithvi sasya shalini desho yam shobharahitaha brahmana santu nirbhayaha सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सत्कमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Yeah, Vaidehi.
Following on what you said, I think the last 15 minutes, even if we don't have questions, or maybe we shouldn't have a question and answer session. We should just meditate.
No. For students, we need to have, I think where question answers are not meaningful are when the students do not have the background. So that's an important thing to see. So what happens is that if you see that it is Shantam Shivam, if you at least you understand that's the goal, then the questions are relevant. But if the main thing is prapancham, then the questions are, because then you'll say, what do you think about politics? What do you think about Trump? All those kinds of questions come up which are not relevant to the whole thing. Yeah.
I've had this question for a while.
Yeah.
So the Upanishad says, Brahman is indescribable, but then it is describing it in great detail. So there seems to be some seeming contradiction.
Yeah. So we'll tackle that at the right time.
Okay.
So the simple answer to that is the fact that the Atma doesn't need to be described. It is self-evident. But what happens is that because I am so convinced of the Atma not being independent, not having the lakshanam that it does. The lakshanam of the Atma is that it is independent of time, independent of death, independent of any problems, any limitations. I'm oblivious of that, but because of my conviction that there is no such thing as possible, then I load on to things which is garbage on top of that. Okay? So the whole thing about description is you don't have to create it. You have to remove the garbage from it. When that happens, it becomes obvious.
So I understand the portion. So my main question was, I understand that not this portion, but then there is also a it is this portion. So my question was more focused on the it is this portion.
So the it is this portion is to say, don't you see already? So there your anubhava, the shruti, yukti and anubhava all come in. So don't you see that you are there? Ekatme pratyasaram. So that also is simply words that introduce you to yourself. Just like it. So the only thing that you may not recognize about someone is the introduction. It's like supposing there is a very famous person who comes here, and supposing somebody comes in this class and I say, by the way, I want to introduce this person to you, and he is the, I think we know all the major people, but let's say Chief Minister of Rajasthan, supposing he's sitting there. What?
I said Trump,
No, not Trump. So I'll say this, I'm very happy to welcome. And so that person may be sitting here like the rest of the people. He looks like a simple person. He's got his cell phone out and so on and so forth. But if I say that this is the chief minister of... So what was the difference was that experience was not the difference. It's the words that introduce a person. So similarly here also the words that introduce Atma, which is yourself, is it creates the whole difference between them. So in that sense, this is, so when you say it cannot, so when the Shruti says it cannot be described, it means that it cannot be described in the normal ways of describing things. But it's an unusual description. And that unusual description, 99% of that is through not this, not this, not this. And so, in terms of the understanding, we don't understand how I can be without all the things that I'm experiencing. How can I be independent of it? Because I am, because of all the things that I'm going through. So even to say no, think about it. It's possible that you, and then examples are given about deep sleep and so on and so forth. So the positive understanding also has to be done through words, but a completely different way of doing it. That's what it means between them. Yeah. Yes?
During the prayer, Om Namo Shivaya, the importance of Om before saying Namo Shivaya.
Oh, you're saying what is the importance of Om?
Yeah.
So it's just, Om is of course the name of Ishvara, and which is what we are studying in Mandukya. So the Namah Shivaya, which is Panchakshari, has a separate aspect of it. So the Om is simply saying, may I be successful in Namah Shivaya. So perhaps I'll talk about that in some more detail.
So, by the way, the way I understood it, maybe I can clarify.
No, hold on a second.
Yes.
I'm very short of time. I need to talk about a couple of other things. So please, let's just do that some other thing. So one thing that, two things. One is we are saying goodbye to Irene. Irene has been here for the last couple of years. Her mother was very ill, and so Irene sacrificed her time to be here with her mom, and her mom passed away recently. So Irene is now going back to Sailorsburg, and really nice to have you here, and hopefully we can continue our relationships. Irene actually had suggested, she is a yoga teacher, and you're actually a student of Ramananji? Or yes?
Yes.
So she's a student of Ramananji Patel. I think that you all know Ramananji. He is a very famous yoga teacher and teacher of teachers, very well recognized in the Iyengar school of yoga. And he and I have known each other. I'm very happy that he comes to the classes. So Irene had suggested, it's a good suggestion, that that Ramanan display so Nadi Shuddhi in terms of the preparation for meditation through just pranayama. And she says that he does such a good job of it, and we haven't had a chance to really do that. So I thought what we would do, and that's the reason I'm bringing it up, sorry to cut you off, Satish, is that next Saturday we will have a half-hour session, which will be half in the previous class and half in the next class. So starting at 9:15 or so, up to 9:45, just a short exposition of your experiences and how you display that and so on. And then if people are interested in taking more class on in more depth, we can continue that. But at least there will be an introduction for that. Ramanji, anything else that you wanted to?
Please come with your fingernails clipped. Otherwise, you create holes in the.
I see. Interesting. So, any other? Okay, so that's it. That people can. So, all right. I will also send an email, especially to both the Gita class and also the Panchadashi class, if they want to come in. But to be here prepared for the lesson in this. And thank you, Irene, for that suggestion. And all the best to you. Thank you. Okay.
Is space enough for the two classes?
Well, people can sit on the floor.